Why did God allow you to fall in love with the wrong person first? Nearly every broken heart has asked themselves this question at some point in their lives. Why did you allow me to fall in love with the wrong person, God? Furthermore, the solution is not straightforward. Because sometimes a higher purpose can only be awakened by a broken heart. It was never designed for you to love without purpose. You weren't meant to pursue comfort through connection. However, in His enigmatic, patient wisdom, God occasionally lets your heart fall in love with someone who was never supposed to be there. To get you ready for something better, not to punish you or make you doubt love. Because only suffering can impart certain lessons. Only until your heart has been stretched, ripped, and forced to heal can you have a certain kind of epiphany. It's not a waste of suffering, anguish, or the silent question, why did it happen this way? A wound is never wasted by God. When heartbreak gives you a sense of purpose, it has a holy quality. When loss makes you realize who you are in Him, there is something beautiful about it. You start to see something profound when you reflect on the person you previously prayed for, wept over, and perhaps even pleaded with God to keep. Unanswered prayer might occasionally be the greatest gesture of kindness. Potential was evident to you. They perceived ease. You witnessed the covenant. They perceived solace. He saw a lesson, though, God. He witnessed a divine turning moment. He recognized what you couldn't. The relationship you most desired was the one that would eventually bring you back to Him. Instead of destroying you, He let you experience intense, even frantic love in order to teach you what love is not and help you understand what love really is. According to Deuteronomy 8:2, the Lord led you through the wilderness to humble and test you, to know what was in your heart. That wilderness was more than a location. It was an individual. It was a partnership. That was the time of year when you were stripped to your core and your vulnerability and desire were exposed. You discovered something unexpected in that wilderness. You discovered who you were. You discovered the aspects of yourself that were incapable of saving themselves. And that was the start of giving up. Because they were never the only focus. It had to do with how God was molding you. You have to encounter self-centered, erratic, and conditional affection. Thus, you would begin to yearn for everlasting truth instead of pursuing emotional highs. Your blind spots are revealed by the incorrect person. Your insecurities are touched by them. They reflect your injuries. They arouse your desire for approval. They serve as a mirror for your weaknesses rather than your value, allowing you to recognize what still needs to be healed. You discover that love can be mimicked by yearning for affection. It's not love, though. Dependency is the cause. It's passion disguised as fear. The adversary is aware of this. He is skilled at taking advantage of your loneliness. He frequently sends a diversion before God sends the true thing because of this. Although it can feel strong, a fake connection makes you nervous. It lacks tranquility but feels urgent. Though it causes perplexity, it feels like fate. God nevertheless permits it. He's awakening you, not because He wants to see you suffer. Heartbreak turns become a sacred space. Tears turn become evidence. Romans 8 verse 28 assures you that everything will work out for your benefit rather than that everything will feel nice. Your illusions were taken away by the wrong person. Your dream was dashed by them. You were left with questions. However, those inquiries brought you to God. Why would you allow me to love someone like that? You sobbed, Lord. Heaven replied in a whisper, because I needed you to see who you are without me. You trusted God less than you loved them. They became your hope, your future, and your emotional support system. And God was still there when they departed. The lesson was that you are not left behind even if the one you love the most leaves. According to Isaiah 43:2, I will be with you when you pass through the waters. You were not drowned. They delivered you. You were not defeated. You gained knowledge. You didn't crumble. You were reconstructed. You started to see your value through your Creator's eyes rather than theirs. To ensure that your soul would never again settle for imitation, God permitted you to fall in love with the wrong person. Because chemistry, timing, or passion are not the foundation of true love, the type that God creates. It is based on truth, sacrifice, and character. It is the kind of love found in 1 Corinthians 13. The kind that is forgiving, selfless, patient, kind, and modest. And you can't pretend to do that for very long. You begin to yearn for something more profound after experiencing the incorrect kind of love. Instead of chaos, you long for peace. Instead of pressure, you want for prayer. Rather than performance, you want for collaboration. You start to realize that the correct kind of love anchors you rather than just attracting you. It does more than merely thrill you. You are edified by it. It does more than just make you feel desired. It enables you to walk with purpose. And God is always the starting point for that kind of love. Because when your heart is broken, God frequently becomes most real. The paradox of faith is that He let your heart shatter so He could completely penetrate it. He let you be disappointed so that you would begin to yearn for covenant instead of idolizing connection. So you wouldn't question, do they love me? And begin to inquire, do they love God? Because you now realize that someone who is ignorant of God would never be able to love you in the way that your soul needs to be loved. We are cautioned not to be unequally yoked in 2 Corinthians 6 verse 14. However, sometimes we don't understand what that means until we've experienced the agony. And even in those cases, God's charity allows the incorrect individual to depart. In order for your next connection to be based on wisdom rather than hurt, I want to bless you rather than break you. In order for you to enter love healed rather than hungry. Because a healed heart sees clearly, whereas a hungry heart settles. You were in love with the wrong person. However, that love wasn't in vain. It demonstrated your ability to give. Your desire for depth was evident. It revealed your longing for something timeless. And a heart like that will not be wasted by God. He will fill it, hone it, and use it until it reflects His own. The next time you wonder, why did you allow me to love someone who couldn't stay? Keep this in mind. God occasionally allows your heart to shatter in order to prevent it from submitting to anything less than Him. That isn't a penalty. That's defense. That's getting ready. Because the proper person will eventually arrive. You'll notice the difference when they do. You won't be separated from God by them. They will force you to get nearer to Him. They won't cause you to doubt your value. You'll be reminded of it. They won't be enamored with your appearance alone. The way you pray will make them fall in love. Because God's presence cannot be rivaled by the proper love. It attests to it. You will at last comprehend why God permitted your heart to be broken before you experienced that love. He had no intention of destroying you. He was attempting to get you ready for a love that mirrors His own. Don't condemn the heartache, then. Don't hate the lesson. Because when you look back, you'll see that it wasn't rejection. Redirection was the cause. It wasn't a loss. It was a covert act of love. It wasn't the end. It was the start of becoming whole. You will then understand why God allowed you to fall in love with the wrong person in the first place. Take a moment to breathe and give thanks to God if this message resonated with you. For what He took away as well as what He gave. Because sometimes your recovery begins with His rejection. Your tale wasn't ruined by the wrong person. They rerouted it. You have been guided back to the one who never leaves by every cry, every prayer, and every instant that remains unanswered. Don't rush the next chapter while you're healing. Let it be written by God. Instead of your haste, let Him use His hands to repair your heart. Because it will make sense when His time comes. Every delay, every lesson, every pain. And you'll be able to tell when that love arrives. It carries peace, not because it feels flawless. Share this with someone who is still recovering if it moved you. And keep in mind that before it appears as a benefit, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more videos that change your viewpoint. Because this channel will grow with your love and support. Many thanks.